during the war, he only came back to the house once when they were marching through, and he got to spend a day or two here, and then he left again. And when he retired, the only thing that he wanted to do was just come back and live here at Mount Vernon and go back to his farming. As I said, he was the farming god of his era.
Let's talk about George Washington at Mount Vernon. That's where we are today, our first day here.
Several reasons. First of all, it really depletes supply. And second of all, it was really expensive to ship it because the British would tax it. And then the ships would come back with goods that we had to pay for and pay British taxes for that too. And he was like, well, this doesn't make any sense. I'm growing this crop. I'm not making very much money off it. I'm having to pay for all this stuff that comes back in all ships. And so I need to figure out something better. So what he figured out is that if he grew wheat, there was a market, a really big market in America and in South America and in the islands of the Caribbean. So that's what he did. He started growing wheat. And over the years, he figured out how to get better and better at growing wheat, better and better
at Washington's farm right now, or one of them. There's 5 here on this property.
He had a distillery too. He made a lot of rye here. And so by the end of his life, he became a very, very rich man. And that was all from his smarts and his business savvy. And if you compare that with Thomas Jefferson, he was a really awful businessman. Thomas Jefferson was always in debt. In fact, we'll talk a little bit later about the Library of Congress when we go to the Capitol tomorrow. The Library of Congress book collection was from Jefferson's library, because the Library of Congress burned down with all the books. They needed new books. Jefferson needed money, so he sold all his books to the United States government. So two really, really different men. You know, we kind of lump all the founding fathers together in our heads and think of them as all being the same, but that's not true. And when we go to the house, you'll see that it's made of wood. Only rich people lived in stone houses. That's what he used. Only rich people lived in stone houses. But again, he was a really smart guy. So what did he do? He cut the wood. He beveled the sides of the wood so that it looked like it was stone. And then they painted it with sand paint so that it looked like it was stone. So when you'll go up there, you'll see a wooden house that looks like a stone house. However, it was expensive to do that. And he didn't care if the parts that people didn't see so much looked like they were wood. So when you go up there, you'll see that the beveled parts is like the front, and the area is more where the public would roam around, the people who visited him and stuff. But the sides of the house are just going to be flat wooden boards, okay? He also had this huge farm here, and he's buried here. There was a plan when they built the U.S. Capitol, they thought they would bury him in the crypt of the Capitol building under the big rotunda. He wanted nothing to do with that. He put in his will that he wants to be buried here at his farm at Mount Vernon. So he actually has his tomb here, and we'll go on down and we'll find that before we come back for the house tour. Okay?